In the 21 years being chairman of the board of the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, this is my proudest day to honor my friend of 30 years, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. Someone like him is only born once a century. I've seen the governor, his charisma, his leadership, his drive, his willingness to help others, and he is here today for his leadership in pioneering funding as governor of California, the largest grants and the largest push in history up to that point in time to promote stem cell research. He initiated a directive of a $3 billion funding of stem cell research and an additional $150 million in order to push that research ahead. This is before stem cell research was popular, and it took a lot of courage to do it at that point in time. As you saw, he founded the Arnold Sports Festival, which is the largest of its kind in the world. The Olympics only gets 10,000 athletes. At the Arnold Festival, they get 18,000 athletes, almost double the amount of athletes at the Olympic Games. As chairman of the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports, he was by far the most successful and most important individual who visited all 50 states to put physical education back into the schools again. I call him doctor now. Governor Schwarzenegger joins a very elite class of former Infinity Award winners, Dr. Linus Pauling, who was a Nobel laureate in medicine, Dr. Peter Safer, who invented CPR. So he's joining a very rare class of individuals. We have not given out an Infinity Award in over 4 years because we had not deemed anyone who had made that significant a contribution. What we're talking about today is a lifelong contribution and one of the true pioneers in pushing stem cell research ahead. The award is a one-of-a-kind award that is handcrafted, hand-carved, signed by the artist, and we made sure it weighs a lot so Arnold can lift it and keep pumped up all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a standing ovation for Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. They had a statue that was dedicated to the governor in Columbus, Ohio, and I was fortunate enough to have a part to play in it, and it was only an 800 bronze, but we made sure this was heavy enough for you anyway. Heavy enough? We'll get everybody in there. Clean it up.
Please be seated. Let me just say, this is a very impressive award. So I want to say thank you to Dr. Klatz and, of course, my very, very dear friend, Dr. Bob Goldman. Dr. Bob Goldman has been a longtime friend of mine, and he has been a big, big supporter of our fitness crusade that I've led over the last 4 decades. So I just want to say thank you to Bob for his great friendship and for always being there in helping us in the bodybuilding movement internationally and in our fitness movement. So let's give him a big hand for his great, great contribution that he has made. I also want to say thank you very much to the great friendship, Dr. Denubili, who is standing right here, who has also been part of the Arnold's Classic and our fitness crusade, and who has served on the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports with me for many years during the Bush administration from 1990 to 1994. So thank you very much for being such a great, great contribution. This is really fantastic to get this award, I tell you, to be here at the 21st Annual World Congress on Anti-Aging, Regenerative and Aesthetic Medicine. What a great energy there is in this room here. And of course, you can imagine that when you're involved in so many different things, that you collect a lot of medals, a lot of trophies, and a lot of awards. But I can tell you right now that this one here tonight is without any doubt the most recent. Yeah, just joking, just joking. I thought we'd lighten up the audience a little bit with a little joke. I mean, we are in Vegas, right? They always say that in Vegas, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I can guarantee you one thing, this trophy is not going to stay in Vegas. I'm going to take this home to Oak Production, to my office, and it's going to have a great, great display right there. I can guarantee you that. But anyway, it is really wonderful to receive this award, especially to receive it for my work that I've done when it comes to promoting health and fitness around the world. To me, it was very obvious that when I was 15 and I wanted to be a bodybuilding champion, I wanted to be the best in the world. But at that time, I had no idea that I ever would think about promoting fitness and bodybuilding around the world. All I thought about at the age of 15 was to become the champion, to win the Mr. Universe competition over and over again, and win Mr. World and Mr. International and Mr. Olympia. And I won all of those. My dream became a reality. I won 13 World Bodybuilding Championships. But then when you win all those championships and you now have this power of influence over other people, you obviously start thinking about it. What can I do now to give something back? And I decided that I should not just lift for myself, but I should lift the entire sport of bodybuilding, and I should lift the entire movement, the fitness movement. Because at that time, people were very skeptical about fitness and about lifting weights. Now, Bob knows that way back, and Dr. DeNubili knows that way back, when we talked about it, even in the 70s and 80s, people were still saying, when you start lifting weights, this is terrible for you. You're gonna get muscle bound. This is gonna be terrible for your heart. You're gonna become a narcissist. You're gonna turn gay. I mean, all of those things started floating around because there were certain people that were so against this kind of idea that you maybe take care of your body before you get sick. That maybe you should take care of your body by eating good food supplements and taking care of your body to train every day, do cardiovascular training, strength training, fitness training, cross training, and all of those things. But they were very much against that. But this is why we were on this fitness crusade. I went around the world to hold seminars, lectures, speeches, to write books on fitness for women and for men, and to promote it and to do thousands of interviews and to be on thousands of covers of magazines, to flex the muscles and talk about health and fitness and about training, regular training. But not just for the competitive bodybuilder, but for the general public. And eventually, the whole thing started turning. And let me tell you something, today, our fitness crusade has been so successful that you can go to any hotel anywhere in the world. There's a fitness center. There's a place where you can train, where you can do your cardiovascular training, where you can do your stretching, your yoga, and your weight training. In any gymnasium in the world, and you can go to any military base, to any fire station, police station, to any university, any sports team, any high school. Everywhere there is now a gymnasium. So our fitness crusade has been extremely successful. And this is why it was so important to me that no matter what I do in my life, I always will promote health and fitness and preventive medicine. No matter where I go. I remember that even when I went into the movies, because this was my big goal always, to win the world championships in bodybuilding and then to slowly work my way into the movies and to become the leading man in the movies. Of course, there were a lot of naysayers and a lot of people that didn't believe that that could happen with a guy with this kind of a body, but I did it. And it was so successful. I remember that after Conan the Barbarian, which came out in 1982, then all of a sudden all the other actors, the leading men, started to get muscular bodies and started training. All of a sudden we saw the Van Dammes and the Sylvester Stallone and all of those guys developing this body. And all of a sudden you couldn't be an action hero anymore if you didn't have a muscular body. And we were competing against each other. Who has the best muscles? Who has the least amount of body fat? Who kills the most people? Well, you saw the amount of people that killed on the screen, right? I want that bet right away. Who can use the biggest guns? Those are the kind of competition. Who makes the most money at the box office? Who makes the most money per movie? And all these competitions were going on, all about being the action hero on the screen and promoting, again, health and fitness and being heroic looking. And so it helped us in the movies, it helped us on television. Now, of course, you have to be in good shape in order to be a leading man in a movie. This is just the way, except if you're some comedian that can be a little rounder and funnier looking. But if you want to be an action hero, you better have a great body. But the greatest thing was when I became governor of the great state of California. I felt so terrific because that gave me the opportunity to continue on my fitness crusade. I remember that my experience that we had with the President's Council on Physical Fitness in Sports, when I was doing Terminator, and I was getting the call from President Bush that I'm the chairman of the President's Council on Physical Fitness, and he appointed me to lead this nation and to go to all 50 states and to promote health and fitness in the schools amongst the youngsters. It was such a great feeling for me to do this and not to think about how much money I make, but how much can I give back to this great country that has given me actually everything that I have. If it is my bodybuilding career, my movie career, my great family that I have, the billions of dollars that I've made, everything is because of America. This country has shown to me that it is the greatest country in the world, and it is the land of opportunity. And so it was so wonderful to travel through all 50 states and to promote health and fitness, to make sure that our children in the schools have daily physical exercise, vigorous exercise. But the great payoff was when I became governor, because now I was able to shape legislation in California and to work with the legislators and to have them send bills down to my desk that I can sign that have to do with banning, for instance, junk food in the schools. California was the first state in the United States that banned all junk food in the schools. No more donuts in the vending machines. No more cookies in the vending machines. All of this was erased, and we started the healthy lunch programs. And then we banned the trans fats in the restaurants. And then we made the restaurants show the kind of calories that each of the foods have. All of those kind of things we did when I was governor of California. So what I'm saying is that my fitness crusade started in the bodybuilding field, then it went through all my acting career, and also then in a political career. And this, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you that I couldn't have done any of that without the help of so many people. There were so many people that were the kind of fitness leaders out there. I was so happy to work with great people like Ben Weider and Joe Weider. They were also the Crusaders, or Jack LaLanne, who was doing his television show for hours and hours and pumping up people and teaching them about healthy eating. Or Jane Fonda, who did a terrific job for women, who came out with all those exercise tapes, and all of a sudden women all over the world started exercising. That's what we needed, because it's so important for women and for men to stay healthy and to stay fit. Or Richard Simmons, a very good friend of mine, who is also having his own style of promoting health and fitness. Or Jim Lorimer, my partner, who is doing the Arnold Classic every year, which now is the biggest fitness, health and fitness expo in the world, with 175 to 200,000 people coming together, all getting inspired to pump up and to stay healthy and to stay fit. Or Jake Steinfeld, and the list goes on. And here you see on this stage also the people that are contributing to this health and fitness crusade. Remember, crusades and movements, they are coming from the local level, from the grassroots level. No movement has ever been successful coming from a capital, from Washington or from London or from Paris or from Moscow or from Beijing. None of them. All the great movements, if it is the civil rights movement, that did not start in Washington. It starts on a local level. The anti-apartheid movement, the women's suffrage movement that gave women the right to vote. All of those movements started on a local level, on a grassroots level, and it grew and it grew. And this is exactly what we're doing here with our movement, with our fitness crusade. I need all of you. We need all to work together to continue this great crusade. So ladies and gentlemen, let's make a commitment to continue our great work. You all are the warriors out there that are fighting this battle every day I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank you for giving me this great award. Let's do it together, and I promise you, I'll be back. Thank you very much. Thank you.